All right, we'll get started with Doc, who's got the first question. We'll start with Bill right over here. Bill up here, and then we'll go back here.
Dave, in terms of Blake pitching 7 tonight, what does that do, not only for tonight's game, but in terms of setting up not only the rest of the series, but if you guys are fortunate enough to get to the next one?
It sets us up really well. Blake was fantastic tonight. You can see that he was in complete control. The fastball was great. The changeup was plus. Kind of mixing and matching, and really was in control the entire game. So I feel good him getting through 7 innings and getting him online. We got some work to do for this series, but he'll be ready to go.
We'll go to Bill over here.
You had an 8-run lead. You go to 3 different relievers in the 8th inning, took 59 pitches. What are you thinking as that plays out?
Yeah, well, Alex wasn't sharp tonight, and obviously Henriquez didn't have any command, and so with that lane right there, 3 right-handers, 4 right-handers, I felt good about where we were at to kind of shorten Alex a little bit. It still got 20-something pitches to get 1 out. And then you follow up in a 10-2 ball game with Edgardo in a lane that I feel very confident in, and he just wasn't good tonight. And so at that point in time, you got to get somebody else to kind of stop the momentum. And so I felt, having Dreyer on Ellie was a good spot for him. And, fortunately, he made pitches when he needed to. Ultimately, we got Ke'Bryan to pop up.
You're not going to score 10 runs a night, but how satisfying was it to see the offense continue the momentum from the last month?
It was great. It was a very well-executed game plan. Teo was big tonight. Obviously, Shohei had a huge night. Kike does what he does in October, and just across the board, we just took good at bats. And I think Hunter is one of the really, really talented pitchers in the game, and for us to get to him like we did, pretty impressive.
Go to Doug, the second row on your left.
Dave, Kike left the game with some back tightness. Any update on him, and will he be available for game 2?
He's playing tomorrow. He has some back tightness, so just kind of trying to, take care of him in this particular game, getting him ready for tomorrow and beyond. So, but he'll be in there tomorrow.
And we saw Shohei 2 home runs last year. Game 1, he had a home run against Dylan Cease. Just how much do you think he lives for the postseason, just these moments?
He does. His focus gets more, keen, and the at-bat quality is better. And, that's the reason why he signed to be with this ball club, this organization, to play in games like this, to showcase his, otherworldly talent. And, I expect really fun things this postseason out of Shohei.
Go to Barry up front.
Hey, Doc, congrats.
Thanks, Barry.
If there's no game 3, when do you expect Shohei to pitch?
You're getting ahead, Barry, but it would be one of the first 2 games probably.
One of the first 2 games?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
On your right, Jack.
In that 8th inning, is that kind of another example of what you've been talking about, guys just not attacking as much as they need to, especially when you have an 8-run lead there?
That's exactly right. It's very clear to me, when you're on the attack, those guys are on their heels with the lead that we have, and when you start being too fine and getting behind, you start, giving them, free bases, and that's how you can build innings and get momentum. So, that's what I saw in that inning there for sure.
And like with Edgardo, is that like trying to use some of those guys when you have a big cushion, maybe staying away from some like the other like high leverage guys in the.
Yeah, absolutely. If we don't feel comfortable using certain guys, with an 8-run lead, then we got to think through some things. But as you pitch guys, you start to learn more about guys, and that's kind of how it goes.
Do a couple more. Third row on your right, Doc.
We saw Emmett throwing in the bullpen for a while. Should we still expect to see him tomorrow, or Tyler if necessary, now that you have the advantage?
Emmett will be available tomorrow, absolutely, and so will Tyler. Yes.
I'll go to Eric.
Dave, getting Edman out of there, was he dealing with anything, or is that score?
It was just the ankle. It's something that's going to be ongoing. So whenever we can get them off of it to get them ready to the next day, that's what we're going to do. So that was kind of the thought.
And is he kind of limited to infield at this point? Just given
At this point, yes.
One or two last ones. We'll finish up with those two.
Dave, offenses can be tight or tentative in a game one. Your offense wasn't. What was the reason for the offense being so potent tonight?
I think that the leadoff homer from Shohei was big. I think that the shutdown inning from Blake was big. And I just thought from the outset we had a really good game plan against Hunter, and we just didn't miss pitches when he made mistakes. And, Teo's hit was huge, yeah.
I'll see you in the fourth row. Doc.
Dave, Teo and Kike just seem to step up every single time in these moments. But other than just the clutch gene, what is that? How are they so good in those moments?
I think it's the clutch gene. I think it's they're not afraid to fail. They like the spotlight, and they're just it's just a really good heartbeat for both those guys in those big moments. And Kike certainly likes the spotlight for sure.
All right, Doc, thank you so much. Appreciate
All right, thanks,
it.
guys. Yeah.
Blake Snell will be down in a few minutes.